This is Ray Mooney's Wild World of Wet Shaving. Let's begin. Hey everyone, welcome back. This is Ray Mooney. Today I have the pleasure of welcoming the one and only Brad Maggard to the show. Welcome, Brad.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
It's been a bit of a coordination effort to get you here, but I'm so happy that we can finally chat.
Yep, sure. I'm excited to talk to you a little bit and
Excellent.
happy to answer many questions.
Well, good thing because I have many questions for you.
All right, cool.
We can just jump right in. I mean, the first question that I ask is, when did you first get into wet shaving?
Sure. Um, Gosh, it's been a while now, hasn't it? I would say that I hated shaving so much when I worked at this college, local college here, and I Googled how to get a better shave, and I guess it would have been 2008.
Oh, wow.
And I ran into a Art of Manliness blog
Yeah.
article that said how to shave like your grandpa and sparked a little interest. Must have mentioned something to my wife about it. And she got me a little, I guess, shavette and Colonel Conk puck
Okay.
for Christmas in 2008.
And
And immediately I was kind of like, well, there was a little bit of blood with the shavette, as many
I,
people have
I was going to
probably
ask.
tried. And,
Sure.
and so that was slightly intimidating, but at the same time, I was getting better results than I ever had with a cartridge and kind of sparked something in me. And before I knew it, I cleaned out all the antique shops around me in 2009 and snagged all the Gillettes that I could find and started using a double edge primarily for the most
Okay.
part until probably late in 2009. I started picking up some real straight razors, and when I got into the real straight razors, that was the game changer for me. So that was the thing that kind of started the true passion for what I do now. Was the legit straight razors. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay. Even, I mean, starting with a shavette is quite bold.
yeah, worst possible place to start, but
Right.
hey,
Fair enough.
you know what I mean. But yeah, it all worked out.
Cool. I've read somewhere that you've said that Sheffield steel suits you the best. Is that
Yes, I would say so. I think I prefer just the slightly softer steel varieties that are out there. Usually, Zolingen, German-made blades are a little bit harder, as are the USA. Most USA steels are a little bit
yeah,
harder too. The only downside of those Sheffield blades, you gotta hone them more often. But
right.
they respond to stropping really nicely. So
Sure.
yeah, I
How
really like
did
them.
Excellent. How did Maggard Razors come to be? I think it was in 2012, right?
It was, yeah.
Right.
So I was part of StraightRazorPlace.com, which was probably the biggest straight razor forum that was kind of out there. Probably 20,000 active users.
Oh, wow.
Um, it's kind of dead now. I don't know what happened to it, but at the time, that's where everybody who was into straight razors congregated, and a lot of people were looking for honing and things of that nature. And there was a little like marketplace thing set up where people could post that, oh, I hone razors for people and stuff like that. And so I had a little post on there and I started honing razors for people in late 2009. And that turned into restorations. The restorations turned into custom scales. And I really got into that stuff in 2010, 11. And I got pretty dang good at it.
Yeah.
Um, and I got to the point like in 2012, I had about 40 razors waiting for work
Oh,
on the
wow.
shelf. So it was like a 2.5, 3 month backlog. And it was coming up on winter of 2012.
Yeah.
And I looked at my garage, which was not heated, and I saw my couch, 15 feet from it. And I thought, if I had a place I could go and work where it was like, you go, you're in productivity mode, and then you go home later. I thought,
Sure.
man, I'm going to rent somewhere where I can have a workshop where I can work on straight razors, and then I can go home when I'm finished in that productivity mode mindset.
Yeah.
And so I found a little place in downtown Adrian. Um, I remember the rent was like 300 a month. It was like, my kids had just gotten out of like diapers or some crap. So I was like,
Right.
I can afford $300 a month. I was spending that on diapers. So, so basically I set up a little workshop in this heated place that I was renting for almost nothing. And I thought, I had already been selling a few little things on eBay. And I thought, well, what if I spent some money on some inventory? And I did in, I guess it would have been October 2012. And I think I actually opened our doors to the public in December of 2012 in that
Okay.
little location. And
Right.
so that was the start of Maggard Razors. And I think it was like $6,000 worth of product. I
Oh,
put
no
it on a
kidding.
credit card.
Sure.
I probably have customers now that have spent $6,000 worth of product in my
That's
store.
it. Sure.
So, it was basically just maybe I'll have my door open. Maybe I'll list a couple of things on my clunky website and see what happens. And obviously that took off
Yeah.
insane. So,
Sure.
yeah. Yep.
Fast forward to now. The listeners can't see, but I see that you're, seated in Maggard Razors in the store, the retail store.
Yes. Yeah.
Uh,
And we have about almost 5,000 SKUs
oh wow.
in the
Okay.
store.
Yeah.
Um, I would say, just given the fact that the current market environment, maybe 4,200 of them are actually in stock. There's a lot of stuff
Sure.
that's tough to get right now.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it's pretty crazy when you're in here in person. Like you're just like I sometimes we'll have a big sales day and we'll sell like, you know, I don't know, we'll ship out 200 orders or something.
Oh, no
I
kidding.
look
Wow.
around the store and it's like doesn't look like anything left the shelves.
Right.
just
Exactly.
there's just so much stuff here,
Yeah.
and it's pretty crazy. But yeah,
And I imagine you make an effort to keep things in stock.
sure,
There's a
sure.
constant
I
flow.
Yeah, I kind of geek out on that stuff. That's one of the things that I enjoy about the business is like figuring out how to keep the store stocked in the most efficient way.
Yeah.
As in
Sure.
like, you take your sales numbers and then you divide it up by how long a supplier takes to fill orders and then
Yeah.
you appropriate those orders based on those numbers. It's kind of fun stuff. But
Sure. And I imagine at this point you would know what sells better, products that sell better than
yes,
others.
we have so much history on things. Like I can tell you, like clockwork, that we're going to sell 400 tubs of London barbershop soap and
Oh, wow.
350 tubs of Executive Man, but unfortunately we can't this year because it's not in stock because Sterling can't find the fragrance.
Oh, for
So
real?
it's
Wow.
yeah. So they've been out for I think 7 months, and it's one of our biggest sellers in the store. But yeah,
That's
I could. It's truly insane how it can become fairly predictable on the just on the very basic, like everybody in the wet shaving world knows about its scents. You know what I
sure.
mean? Like obviously those seasonals and new releases are very difficult to try to guesstimate what's going to happen
Of course.
with the sales. You know what I mean? So it's just. But the classics like the Sevilles, the Executive Mans, the London Barbershop, like all those are just like
Constant.
you know exactly what you're going to sell.
Yeah. Oh, that's neat.
I think
Uh,
that's mostly because there's like two kinds of wet shavers. There's the guys that they buy the basic kit when they get started,
yeah.
and then they fall in like the forums and the Facebook group rabbit holes,
Sure.
and
That's
then all of a sudden they've got 30 soaps and 10 razors, right?
yeah.
And then there's the other people, they buy the kit, with the Seville, with the London barbershop, whatever. And then like they come back, they buy 100 pack of blades and another tub of Seville. You know
That's
what I mean?
it.
And
Stick to
then
the
and
same
then they
whatever.
don't buy anything again for two
Right.
years. And
Yeah.
then they buy 100 pack of blades and another tub of Seville.
Tub of
And
Seville,
like so
right?
that's why those are the things that make those like nobody in the enthusiast wet shaving world is gonna be like, I'm all geared up for Seville, you know what I mean?
Sure, of course.
Or London barbershop because
Yeah.
it's like just kind of boring. You're like, oh well, we know what barbershops smell like.
Sure.
But out there, those are the best sellers,
Interesting.
at
On
least in
this.
my store.
Yeah. No, that makes
You know,
sense. And
yeah,
and
I think it's partially because we started off so many in wet shaving that we just got that big chunk of population that probably are never going to listen to your podcast. No offense,
none
but
taken.
you know what I mean. But
It's not
that's
it's not
just
for
like
them, but yeah.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of cool that you can survive as a business without, I don't really do any marketing. Oh,
Sure. Yeah. Oh,
got a
cat.
cat here. Yeah, sorry.
No, not at all.
Yeah,
I have one too. She just doesn't come near me.
sure.
Right. Is the majority of your business online sales, despite your big,
Yes.
beautiful brick and mortar? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so we do have this nice place and everything is nice and organized, but I tell
Sure.
you what, that is insanely important to have things organized when you're filling e-com orders because
Sure.
a mistake costs you $20 every time,
Right.
shipping both ways.
Oh, of
And
course.
so, and then, you get an employee that's not you, that
Yeah.
doesn't, they're not quite as invested as you are,
Yeah.
maybe not paying attention as much. It's a Monday, it's a Friday, whatever.
Sure.
And if the store isn't organized, it's easy to make mistakes, especially when you've got
Absolutely.
10 bay rums or,
Of course.
in
For
the
sure.
store from different brands. And
Yeah.
so that's absolutely critical. But yes, we invest money in the storefront, but it's for ecom. And because we do approximately 98.6% of our gross sales on the website.
No kidding. Wow.
So that 1.4% of sales doesn't even support a single minimum wage employee.
Wow. And how many employees do you have?
Me, my wife, plus four,
Okay.
and we're all full time.
Yeah.
There was at one point in 2018, I would say 19, we were getting a lot more orders, but they were smaller in size.
Sure.
And so during that time, I believe we had 10 plus a part timer.
Okay. Wow.
So that was as big as we got in terms of staff. But
Yeah.
believe it or not, we're doing just about as much like gross revenue as we were during that time. It's just less employees, less orders.
Sure.
So yeah,
I guess bigger orders.
yeah, bigger orders.
So,
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. And what inspired you to start the Maggard meet?
Um. So I had just thrown out to like kind of all the local people in Michigan and stuff that, had come into the store often. And I kind of the first year here when we bought this building that we're in now, which was 2015, I basically was like, hey, I'm gonna make a crock pot of pulled pork
Nice.
sandwiches or something.
Yeah.
And like I think we had like 18 people here.
Sure. All
You know what I
locals.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like mostly locals. And I think we had a couple of vendors come in and but it wasn't like anything crazy, you know.
Sure.
And then the next year and people said, "Oh my God, it was so fun, we had such a good time." And so the next year I think we just decided to like put it out there that we were doing it. And I think
Yeah.
we had like I can't remember the second year, but I want to say it was like 7 or 8 vendors or something, and
Wow.
like over 100 people, I think. So it quickly grew.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
it just because that was I mean, let's be honest, like 2016, that was like kind of the start of like the glory days of wet shaving because everybody was into it between 16 and 19.
Interesting.
That was like the explosion. I mean, you
Okay.
could say there was like the artisan explosion of 2012, 13, 14, but like really the customer explosion happened during that
Interesting.
15 to 19 time.
Okay. I only
Yeah.
got into it over COVID actually, so it was a little bit after
Really?
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
discovered all of this
Yeah.
I'll
It's
I'll start culture.
interesting just like how the phases have gone. You know what I
Sure.
mean? Like
Yeah.
over the years.
Oh, absolutely. But it's
Yeah.
great to see that, you still have your storefront, you're still doing brisk business. That's
Yeah.
encouraging. I would imagine you're one of the bigger resellers in North America even, right?
It's possible. It's hard to know with,
Sure.
you know,
Well, there are
just
not many one-stop shops like you. I'm up in Canada, so there's top of the chain.
right. Right.
But I don't think they have
Yep.
a storefront. I think it's only mail order.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's been some that have come and gone in Canada too. Like I remember there's Men Essentials that was in Toronto and
Yeah.
um few other ones. I mean, in the US, we have had ones that come and go as well, like Straight Razor Designs in Medina, Ohio,
Okay.
closed. and there was a Mertz Apothecary, which is small flower, in Chicago. They used to have like another store called Q Brothers, which was
Oh,
specifically for the wet shading stuff, and that was in like Lincoln Square or something. And that I believe that one may have closed as well. So but there's still a few out there. I mean,
oh,
obviously you
for
got
sure.
pastures and
Pasteurs, yeah.
um, I know Razor Emporium has continually been adding more and more products to their website.
Sure. I think they're
Um,
also buying brands and stuff. Machine Shop, like I think they've grown quite a bit.
sure, a little bit of consolidation in the market. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, I think the Razor Company, it's not far from me actually.
Right. That's another
Um,
I think they have a competing meetup around the same time as you, right?
oh yeah, yeah. Well, I think they kind of
Competing.
piggyback the next day, which is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. People get to double down on it.
Of course. Yeah, and
Yeah.
they're not too far from you.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, we're probably in the top three. I mean, I think West Coast was probably a lot larger back in the heyday, but
Are they still open or they
as far
closed?
as I know, they're still
Are
open.
they? Okay.
Not really sure what kind of business or stock they have or
Right.
anything, but I kind of just pay attention to my own thing. And
Understandably.
I'm not like out there scouring over like looking at competitors and stuff. It just doesn't. I like when I have downtime, I hone a razor. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like,
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
so it's really just one of those things where I enjoy what I do, and I'm happy that I'm able to do it. Um,
And
and
are
just
you still
kind of
honing razors for people as a
I
service?
do, but like if you go, it's funny. Would hopefully you don't have a million listeners. But I just don't like advertise it because I'll be honest. After the first, 7,500, it kind of gets old.
Sure. Understandably.
It's one of the most boring things that I do. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, it's
Well,
funny.
especially once you have your technique down, it's probably
Exactly. Yeah.
automatic. Yeah.
And usually I'll just maybe I'll watch some TV or something while some Netflix or some crap on the
Sure.
background when I'm doing it or something. But yeah. So I mean, so I'd still do it, and I feel like I have to do it. I mean, I'm a razor shop, right? Like
Sure.
I have to do it.
Makes
It's like
sense.
a reputation thing, and I also like don't really want to train somebody to do it on behalf of our store. Oh, the cat literally brushed against the
That's
mic.
funny. Yeah. Maybe the cat wants a word
um,
too.
yeah, right.
Huh.
But yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where I'm not like over it. I still enjoy doing it, but it's just probably one of my least favorite things that I do in the store.
Fair enough. Fair enough. 7 years ago, you did a Reddit Ask Me Anything, an AMA, where you had a list of seven straight razors that seemed to cover the gamut. Does that still hold true, your seven choices? I
I
don't
would
have them
say
in front of
so.
me, so I don't.
I don't think I can't. Well, I don't. I know that I remember doing that, but
Yeah,
I could probably rattle off most of them. You know what I mean? But
okay,
it's mostly just like it gives you the biggest variety of experience with what's out there.
sure,
Um, and I know I probably had, a German full hollow 5/8,
right.
um, and a Swedish razor,
Yeah,
a pre 1890 Sheffield blade,
yeah,
which is generally going to be a heavier grind.
sure.
Um, a a big fan of the American wedge grind razors, which were
Okay,
produced, in the early 1900s.
sure.
Like Case made some, and like there was a Red Imp, and there was the Genco. I mean, they're all very similar, but they have a very similar feel.
Yeah,
Um, so those are really cool. Or a Spike is cool. What else is on that list?
I mean, I can try to
Probably an eight
pull it up.
eighths. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like a 1 inch wide. But I mean, yeah, those are like the kind of just the things where it's like you have to kind of try them all to figure out what it is that you like. But also,
absolutely.
it's just fun.
It
And I mean,
is.
like most guys that get into straight razors will end up with more than one razor, right? So why would you make it all the same, you know,
Well, variety
same
is the spice of life, as they say.
exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
And I can
So,
attest because as a part two to my shaving career, we'll call it, I got into straight razors. And yes, now I have many, many, many different ones. And it's
right.
fun to explore the nuances.
Yes, I agree.
Are you a collector?
Generally, no.
Okay.
Um, I have a few that I kind of won't sell,
Yeah.
but it's like a handful,
Okay.
like, like four.
Sure. Well, that's
Now,
very reasonable.
I probably currently own 800.
Right. Well, so
But it's because I've acquired like collections over the years. And because the business is so busy, I just can't get to
don't
them.
have time. But is the intention to sort of clean them up and resell them?
That is the intention,
Okay.
but I don't know if that will occur until I close the store in some fashion.
Right. Sure.
So it literally may be the semi-retirement
Right.
phase of my life, which might be God knows how long from now, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who knows? I don't know.
Well, but that's a good plan.
Yeah, it is. And so I've acquired so many and it's I have kind of everything, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that you can imagine and it'll be fun to go through them
Sure.
actually someday.
Are they currently
Um
just sitting in a box type thing? Or-
yeah, in like 10 boxes.
Yeah, right. Well, that many, yes,
Yes.
wouldn't fit into one box,
Yeah,
of
it's a
course.
lot. But it's every once in a while I'll just get that guy that comes into the store and says, "Hey, I've got 20 razors. Do you want to buy them?" And I pay decent money for them. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I'll go through them, and I like to give people like, oh well, this one is this, and then they're like,
Yeah.
wow, really? And then they still don't want them. You know what I mean? They don't
Right.
want to
Of
keep them. You
course.
know what I mean? So, but then I'll just give them a fair price. I have had a couple really cool situations where somebody's contacted me with a large collection,
From
and
like
I
states or
remember,
something.
oh yes,
Yeah.
yes, and I can remember one time somebody they pulled in like a Dodge Caravan and they popped the back and the whole caravan was full of boxes of
Wow.
crap. And I was like, I don't know what I'm getting into here. You know what I mean? Like, this is
Sure.
nuts. And so we started dragging stuff out. And I mean, thank God it wasn't all solid end-to-end razors because I would have been broke by the time, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Yeah,
by the
absolutely.
time I bought that many from them. So there was unfortunately it was a lot of trash, you know what I mean? That had been
Sure.
just chucked into these boxes and he saved whoever the person was that passed away, just saved everything.
Everything. Yeah.
But after about 5 hours, we had gone through everything, and I gave a a very nice, four-figure check for
Sure.
what was left, after we had gotten through the trash, and they were so grateful.
That's
Like
great.
they were just like, man, we were just gonna like take it to the dump.
No
You know what I
kidding.
mean? Like, and I'm like, yeah. So I really appreciate you guys coming and spending all this time with me, and
Yeah.
and I said, now that we've done all that, you're gonna take all this other crap home that I didn't
That's
want,
right.
but don't
Exactly.
throw it away. Like, go rent a flea market booth and just put $3 on everything. You know what I mean? And you're gonna end up walking away with 300 bucks. you know.
Right.
So yeah, I tried to get them to do that. So hopefully they did that.
Cool. Do you have a favorite riser in all of that? Doesn't have to be a straight, but just one that is really
Sure. So I have this old William Stenton, just a massive meat cleaver straight razor.
yeah.
Um, that's probably my favorite straight razor that I own. It's like more than 9/8. It's huge.
Okay.
And then in terms of double edge razors, I think the pinnacle of the double edge razor was the Gillette Slim Adjustable. I mean, it's just, do I wish it had a slightly thicker handle? Yes, it's funny, but I
Yeah.
prefer the shave from the Slim than the Fat Boy, so I will take the slimmer handle.
Interesting. Yeah.
Um, and so I have my grandfather's, and I also have another one.
Okay.
Both of them. My grandfather's is the black handled Slim.
Yeah.
You know, the
Sure.
shorter one, not the black,
Not the long
the
handle.
longer one.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the difference the names is them, but then I've got a 60s one as well. So
Okay.
yeah. So that I mean, I think those are the I've shaved with all of them, because everything's passed through my hands.
Yeah.
Like I can't really think of a Gillette razor that I haven't shaved with. You know,
Okay.
I've shaved with, the toggles and the toggle prototypes and like, all these different things. And that one kind of the Slim just nails it for me. I think if I had to have a second, it would probably be a red tip
Interesting. Why?
because it's the right, like I'm using the Slim adjustables on the side at like a 6 or 7, and the red tip is very similar to that. So like I think that the red tip's a great, just no frills, nice, moderately aggressive, you know, built like a tank,
Yeah.
gonna outlive you. No moving, no like not as many moving parts as an adjustable to break on you or something.
Sure.
It's a great razor.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about soap? You have a favorite scent or favorite soap even?
Well, I always get dogged on this because I'm not like a super software guy, you know.
Okay.
But and people always ask me for fragrance advice, but I'm like the basic yeah, I'm the basic. I like citrus, you know what I mean? Like
Sure.
I'm just like a
That's fair.
citrus junkie. And
Yeah.
what that means is, I never walk around smelling like much of anything because if I use citrus aftershave, it never lasts, right?
That's right. It fades quickly.
Yeah, but I do enjoy it. And I like things like the traditional colonia scents like 4711
Okay.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and I like any lime is fantastic, or and I even like, I even like grapefruit and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So a
big
citrus
fan of
guy.
that lately Zingari put out uh that Paloma,
Yeah.
the one that's like scented like a Paloma. I mean that's awesome. That's like it's kind of my jam. I actually if I had to go like from the London companies, like my favorite would probably be kind of like a German street or something from
Okay.
Taylor. Like
Yeah.
I prefer that, but it's too strong for me, so I won't wear it. So, you know what I
Interesting.
mean? I'm waiting for the artisan dupe of German street.
Yeah.
Somebody do that. Somebody do that.
Okay.
But make it not as strong. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
So I guess you don't have a specific favorite artisan. You sort of run the gamut.
Yeah, I really am. I mean, it's hard to like when everything is great, it's hard to kind of decide. It's like everything in the store, it's like if it wasn't good, why would I stock it? So
Sure.
it's just one of those things. I mean, I think I have some outperformers, I guess, in the store,
Yeah.
but you usually pay for it. Like, when you usually pay like a 50% premium versus like the average soap price to get that extra, 5% of performance or something.
Sure.
Um, but and somebody asked me personally, I might tell them on a podcast. I'm not going to say one's better than the other. There's
Fair
just
enough.
too many variables.
Of
You know what I
course.
mean?
And I guess you have access to all of them. So, have you
Yeah.
tried all of the products that you carry?
No, it might be impossible.
Yeah, that might in fact be
I,
impossible.
I mean, with like 650 or 700 soaps, maybe more than 700 soaps. I mean,
Wow.
I try not to, if I buy something myself, sure, I get the discount or whatever, but I also am kind of a minimalist when it comes to the software side of things. So like,
Sure.
I might own 5 soaps at any given time.
Yeah,
So, but that said, we make samples all day, so it's easy for me to
it's
just
true.
snag a sample, you know what I mean, and try something out just so
Yeah,
that I can tell people my experience with it, if
absolutely.
they ask me, you
Yeah,
know what I mean. So that's kind of cool.
for
I
sure.
mean, yeah,
And you guys make your own samples, like from a big tub, you'll part it out and make little
yeah, we try to get the artisans to like just fill like those Gladware tubs that you buy at the supermarket,
yeah,
like, and we'll just give we'll ask them for like 48 or 68, 64 ounces of a soap, and
sure.
they usually are able to just hot process, dump it right out of whatever they're making it right into
Yeah,
those things and let it cure right in there. So it just cuts down on the amount of packaging that we're
of course. Of
pitching.
course.
Try not to do that.
Yeah, no,
Um,
that makes sense.
there's some companies that, they're, we do some samples from all the big London firms and stuff, and
Yeah.
they're not going to do that stuff for us. Like
Okay.
that's
So you have
just
to,
not happening.
right.
And then there's some other companies that they're like, you're not making samples at all.
Oh,
They
really?
don't want us
Yeah.
to. Yeah, they don't want us to. I mean,
Okay.
I can understand it. They want it to be in their own packaging. They want it to have their own the experience of the user to be a certain
Absolutely.
level, things like that. So we try to ask for permission before doing stuff for the
Yeah.
most part.
It's interesting. I recently saw I collaborated with Will from Barrister and Mann to do the artwork because I work as a graphic designer for his Halloween release,
Cool.
the Hallows and the well,
Yeah.
Sam Hain for
Yeah.
lack of
Sam Hain. Yep.
pronunciation.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw that you guys were providing samples before it was even before it had been released by him. So
Mm-hmm.
that yeah, that's great.
Yep. And they sold out too because
Oh,
I
did they
think
really?
because the delay in that release,
That's right. Yeah,
everybody wanted to try it, but they couldn't get it. So
for sure. That's it.
yeah. So yeah, we made like 100 samples of each or something from those tubs that he
Okay.
sent us,
Yeah,
and yeah,
nice.
they were gone. So
So, does owning a wet shaving supply store kill one's thrill for shaving? I mean, it doesn't seem to be the case with you.
um, I would say that it's sometimes, like
Yeah,
it's on occasion. I mean, like I started actually wearing a beard.
right.
But the thing is like if I had been able to wear some facial hair back when I worked at that college and I hated shaving so much, and I found all this stuff, I probably would have wore some facial hair back then too. But we had a president there. He was when he got hired in, man, he brought out the axe.
Oh,
And
really?
like, no, I didn't want to get on his bad side, and he didn't like beards. I heard through the grapevine, and I was like,
Right,
I need to shave every day, and so I did, and it sucked. And so, when I found all this stuff, it was really cool, and so it definitely changed everything about how I felt about shaving, and I'm
right.
definitely not like over the thrill of it. Am I after 12 years of a new soap coming out every month,
Yes,
am I kind of over that thing? Sure. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely. Especially
I you know
when,
I'll be honest, I'm gonna reach for the Barbasol 1919 brushless cream on occasion if I'm feeling like it. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Like, because that stuff's awesome. It's like super slick and it's great for straight razors.
right,
Sucks for double edges and cartridges because it
right.
clogs it up, but for straight razors, it's awesome. So
Okay.
it's no fuss, you
For
know.
sure. Yeah, absolutely. And, slickness is very important with straight razor shaving for
Yeah.
sure.
Yep.
Are there any artisans or products that you won't carry in your store? You don't absolutely do not have to name names, but
So since we didn't necessarily run out of room in the store, but like all of our shelves are kind of full,
yeah,
and everybody that we've worked with has kind of hung in there. You know what I
sure.
mean? For the most
Absolutely.
part. And so while it was always like throughout 2013 to 15, we were trying to get every new artisan that was out there. Once we had like a stable inventory with
Yeah,
makers that were making stuff reliably, um, we kind of cooled it. But
fair.
at the same time, the artisan market kind of cooled off too. Like we used to have an email every 2 weeks from a new artisan saying, "Will you stock our stuff?"
No kidding. Wow.
And I'm sure 90% of those people never actually made it to market or whatever.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
there was such a massive boom in that 15 to 19 time,
Yeah.
well, maybe 14 to 18, that everybody and their brother wanted to make soap. And so
Interesting.
for us, it was like we got really picky about who we were going to stock.
For
Like
sure.
if you weren't a registered LLC,
Uh,
if you didn't have a nice website that people could read about you and who you are and where you live and da 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 da,
yeah.
if you didn't have your formulas nailed down, like
Yeah.
one of my biggest pet peeves as a reseller was when a company would put out a formula, a new one every 6 months, and all of a sudden I've got a bunch of dead stock
That's
because
it. That's
nobody
not
wants the old
tenable.
formula.
Of course. Of
Yeah,
course.
so those were very frustrating things as a retailer, and so we just started just being like, "Are you still experimenting?
Yeah.
If you are, don't reach out to
Bother.
retailers.
Right.
Like, establish your brand,
That
establish
makes
that,
sense.
people like the formulas and run with them for 2 years, then go to retailers.
Right.
And plus it helps a small artisan to do those direct sales initially because you're going to earn more money. And when you're only shipping, a batch of soap every month or something, it's not the end of the world to pack 100 orders or something,
Of course not.
especially when you're going to make double the amount of money on the sale.
Right.
So it just doesn't make sense. And a lot of people, I think, like they were putting, the cart before the horse
Sure.
on some of
Absolutely.
that stuff. And they were just like, well, I need to get into this retailer. Otherwise I'm never
Right.
going to make it. And that wasn't a great approach, I don't think. But
And that, nonetheless, that's a testament to, your success
yeah,
and as a purveyor of shaving goods.
yeah. So, we got picky and sometimes somebody would come along and I'm like, they check all the boxes. We
Yeah,
would add them.
absolutely.
So,
But there you
as of late, like we've had a couple that have kind of dropped off on us.
Oh,
We
really?
can't get them. I don't know if they're necessarily out of business or something, or they just lost interest. But we put our orders in, and nothing comes. So I'm to the point where I might need to add a couple. So I'd love to hear from
Interesting.
some of your listeners what they would like to see us add, because I'm not really scouring out there for new people, and we don't really have a lot of arsons coming forward asking to be in. So
Interesting. Okay.
it's I would say that I probably haven't had an email from somebody in the last 14 months
No kidding. Wow.
from an artisan saying, "Hey, would you stock our stuff?" I've had some like sketchy people that are like reselling crappy Alibaba stuff,
Yeah.
trying to
Yeah.
get stuff into our store, but nothing like a true artisan that I just there's you know what? That's if they don't want to be in a retail store, that's great, but
Sure. But that's
more
surprising to
power
me.
to them.
Sure.
Yeah,
Well, I'll call out fanzine saponifications. I don't know that they're scaled up to the point of being able to retail through you, but
sure.
part of the Reddit community, and their stuff is good. It's a vegan base. I know that
Cool.
Southern Witchcrafts has shuttered their
Right.
operation, and they had a great vegan
Right.
product.
They
So
did.
maybe this gentleman can step in. I don't know.
Cool.
Just a
Cool.
suggestion. I don't know.
Sure.
From a Canadian podcaster who knows not much.
Yeah. They're not in Canada, are they?
No, no, they're in the States. They're stateside.
Because boy, I tell you, that's killing us. So, all right.
These days,
Maybe that's one of your next questions. I'll let you continue.
for sure. Well, it could be. I mean, these days the whole thing is screwy and
Yeah.
tariffs and shipping and, trade
Yeah.
wars and such. Not fun.
Yeah.
Certainly not for, these consumers who just want to buy and collect unnecessary amounts of soap and such,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. I mean, if you want me to talk about that,
Could,
it's been
sure.
a really, really tough year. Um, we've we source approximately 40% of our inventory from overseas.
Oh, no kidding. Wow.
Um,
That's a lot.
or, border to the north.
Yeah.
um, and so some of the worst tariffs right now are India and Canada.
Yeah.
The 35% from Canada is an absolute destruction of the brands from you guys. I mean,
Absolutely.
I literally like I really want to restock some of these companies that we stock, like Henriette Victoria and Rockwell, and
Sure.
like it's brutal.
It's
It's
prohibitive, of
brutal.
course.
And
You
and
know,
as long as those companies are still selling stuff, I don't know if Henriette is or not, but like Rockwell's wholesale, or I'm sorry, Rockwell's retail prices in the US are still the same. And so for us to be able to absorb a 35% tariff
no, it's
and
not
then sell it for the
tenable.
same price as that they're selling
Makes
it on Amazon
makes
or
no
something,
sense,
it's
right?
like, oh my God,
Yeah,
it's
no,
out of
that's
control.
that's tough.
But so yeah, as of right now this year, we've uh we've spent approximately $21,000 on tariffs that would have not
Wow.
happened last year.
Wow.
So like as in like above and beyond what the previous
Of
numbers were.
course, that's
So
very not cool, but
it, um and unfortunately, the only ways that we were really able to make up some of that was on products that we had pricing power on. And unfortunately, there's quite a few um, products that are sold in the wet shading market that the prices are basically set by the manufacturers.
Okay.
Um, and so, we abide by those numbers. And the biggest problem isn't necessarily that we do, but also every competitor does. And so
Right.
you don't want to be the first one to increase your price
No, of course not.
because
Absolutely
you
not.
won't sell anything.
Yeah,
And so for the most part, I would say probably 60 to 70% of those tariffs we've eaten right on the bottom line.
for
And
sure.
then the rest of them we've had companies that were mindful enough to say, hey, every single retailer in the United States has to increase their price by this much. Otherwise, we're cutting off your supply. And so those are the ones that we've been able to, you know, make up a little bit, like
Right.
Taylor and some of the big London names. Like they've got new minimum advertised pricing that includes that kind of in the
Right.
works.
Sure.
So it
I guess
allows us to
that's what they have to do.
allows
Hopefully
us to
this,
make the same amount of money as we used to,
for sure.
basically,
Yeah.
which is fine with me.
Hmm.
But yeah,
Look, hopefully this will blow over or change up soon
yeah,
enough.
I'm.
Uh,
I mean,
Not in
anything could
three
happen.
years, but yes,
And
anything
it's
can
funny,
happen.
like the few products that we do get from China, I I saw the writing on the wall, and
Yeah.
right before the inauguration of Trump, I actually put a massive order in,
Oh, did
and
you? That's smart.
I have not had to reorder from China since. And
Okay.
so
Good.
I actually have an order in right now. So I'm crossing my fingers that something happens between now and the time it's ready to ship.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Because
it's so
it's been a tough
volatile.
run.
Things seem to change by the day, and depending on,
Right.
who pisses who
Yeah.
off and etc.
Yeah. It's been, and I mean, it makes the day interesting every day for
It
me
sure
as the
does.
owner.
Oh yeah.
It's,
And from a news standpoint or an entertainment through news standpoint, yes, it's very fulfilling, but it's, very unfortunate at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah. Are knockoffs a problem for you? Sort of people cloning or especially, orders from China,
Um, you know,
clone stuff?
let's be honest. We're knocking off the Edwin Jagger head. You know what I mean? Like
For
on ours,
sure.
so I don't really mind at all. The biggest frustration that I have is these these fake websites that get spun up. Like they'll literally scrape our entire website,
No kidding.
pull all the product listings, spin up a website in some third world country that's being hosted somewhere else,
Yeah.
and literally it's got all of our stuff on it, all of our descriptions, and the
All of your
prices are half
images,
as
everything.
everything,
Wow.
and you can't really do anything about it. Even if you can get it shut down, they'll spin another one up in 48 hours,
Right.
and as long as a couple of Google searches can occur and they somehow get indexed or something, or
Yeah.
I don't, who even knows. But and then they're just straight up scam sites. Like you'll never get anything. You
Sure.
check out, you put in your credit card, and then they got your money.
That's it.
So yeah.
Yeah.
But that's very,
Terrible.
very frustrating. And that's for all ecom. You know what I
Of
mean? It's
course.
not
Of
our
course.
specific to our industry or anything, but the fact that they're targeting little old us is kind of funny.
I guess
You know what I mean?
yeah,
It just blows my mind. But I'm sure they just press a button. You know what I mean? And
well,
it
this is
probably
it.
is an automated thing.
Yeah.
So very frustrating.
Yeah, I could imagine. That's no fun at all.
Yeah. So I wish I could
Constantly.
stop that, but
Yeah.
other than that, I mean, I'm not. We don't. I don't really. I've never really seen anybody try to knock off our stuff other than that sort of situation.
Okay.
So yeah,
Good. Good. What's the strangest order that you've ever fulfilled?
so many.
So many. Okay. Any good stories there?
Honestly, sometimes I would say there's like a order a week that you just can't really. There's it doesn't. It's not rational.
Really? Okay.
Anything from somebody buying 8,000 blades to you know what I mean, like like multiple lifetime supplies of blades
Yeah.
to I mean, I guess maybe it could be that they're just like they want to stock up on something. Like
Share it with all their friends or something. Who
that's
knows?
possible. I
Yeah.
mean, that's one of the things is like, why do you buy 12 of the same sample? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Maybe they're
I'm
just,
sure you're happy to provide, but
I
no,
mean, I'm happy to
that's
provide.
bizarre.
They could buy a full tub and we sell the little empties on the thing too. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you
Yeah.
can make them yourself and it'd be a hell of a lot cheaper. But I don't know. I mean, I guess the we do get some orders on occasion that are just shocking. I think I'd have to look up how much it was. It was a while back. I think I even posted it like on our social media, which I barely ever post anything on social media. But I had an order from somebody, and good lord, he ordered like almost every single brand that we stocked
No
in
kidding.
one order,
Wow.
and I want to say it may have been like over $4,000 or
My
something,
goodness.
and I was just like I'm always crossing my fingers. I hope it's not a scam. I hope it's not a scam.
Yeah, for sure.
But so we have a lot of guidelines in place, and we look at orders very closely. And sure enough, like everything was checking out, and I
Okay.
even contacted him, and he's like, and I'm like, hey, so what, are you sure? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And he was basically just like, yeah, when I get into stuff, I get in deep. I'm like, okay,
I guess
that's
so.
fine.
Hey,
We'll
teach his
have it
own.
out today. You know what I mean?
That's it. That's it.
So, but yeah,
And, tariffs and trade wars notwithstanding, I guess you ship around the world.
we do.
Yeah.
But before COVID, it comprised upwards of 18% of our business.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And now it's about 6%. So
Really?
you can see how just it's there's really just a lot of protectionism policy that's occurring across the world, not just the
Yes.
United States.
Yeah.
Like more and more companies sorry, countries are just the general consensus in there is that we're going to try to buy more local,
Right.
buy more within their own countries. And so it's kind of a shame because I'm a capitalist, right? I'm a
Yeah.
person that believes that um, if you do something the best, you should be able to share it with the world. And
Absolutely.
so and specialization is how we literally got here, right? Is
Yes.
how we are such an incredible, you know, things have happened in the last 200 years of specialization. And so
Right.
I don't understand why we would, not to get political, but why we'd move, try to produce things in the United States that we're just not as good at as
Yeah.
somebody else.
Yeah.
And why don't we do the things that we're good at and they'll do the things that they're good at and then we'll trade them.
We can all share. Yeah,
And
that's it.
then we all will end up better off.
Sure. Well, again, not to get political, but this is,
Yeah.
the tides that have shifted most
Yeah.
recently,
Yeah.
and we'll see where that nets out.
Yeah.
Way
But
more
I mean,
artisans.
it's also, is it gonna spark some things in the United States? I'm sure it will. I
Yep.
mean, but it makes me wonder where we'll be at as a country as well when other countries who may be trading with other countries beyond not from the US, they might
Yep.
get ahead of us in some way.
We'll
Yeah,
have to
you know what I
we'll have
mean?
to
If
wait
they
and see.
could,
I know exactly what you mean.
yes,
And actually,
yes,
Canada is sort of, has gone to Europe to form allegiances because
right,
our closest neighbor and our best friend
sure.
has sort of,
Well,
stabbed us in the back a little bit.
it's too easy to get political, isn't it?
These
But
days it is,
yeah,
unfortunately. Yeah.
but I mean, think of it like you got a Canadian company, maybe they buy EV vehicles from Canada, and all of a sudden they're super cheap and they work awesome,
Yeah.
and then that company just saved a bunch of money on vehicles for their business,
Right.
and now they are more profitable and more successful than an American company
Right.
just
Yeah.
because of that small, very, very small detail. But take
Absolutely.
that at a larger scale, the
Well, it's
Germans make the best straight razors.
yes, I would agree. That's right.
So it would be a shame if those don't can't make it into this country.
For sure. For sure.
Yep.
Geopolitically, things have shaken up, and we'll see where the chips fall eventually, I guess.
Yeah.
You know?
Feel free to
Um,
cut all that stuff from your from the
We
some
could, but
podcast.
to be honest, I don't edit unless there's something
Oh, okay.
glaring. It's just straight talk and,
Sure. I get
straight
it.
to the listener, and people seem to appreciate that.
Yeah.
You touched on it just before, but question is, how active are you on social media, like in the wet
Uh,
shaving spaces?
very not.
Okay.
It's
Intentionally or
not,
just,
well, I think after I may have been a little bit burnout on that
yeah,
over the years. Um, and so usually if I'm online, I'm probably in groups or forums, etc., that are some of my hobbies that are not wet shaving.
okay,
Because as with anything in life, if you do enough of it, especially as the owner of the business, it does turn into a job,
of course.
um, which is just the way it is. But
Absolutely.
yeah, so I mean, if you catch me on a forum, I'll be on a on a guitar forum or a disc golf
Okay.
forum or a
Yeah,
hiking. You know what I
sure.
mean? I have a ton, hockey. I have a
Hockey. Yeah,
ton of of hobbies and I
that's
enjoy them.
great.
And so
That
usually more likely to be on something like that.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Have you noticed the wet shaving community change over the years? I guess so. We've touched on it, a couple of your answers.
Yeah. Definitely. I think right before COVID,
Yeah,
we were going through definitely a so okay, here's kind of what happened, right? Big boom between 2012 and 2015 where new people were finding wet shaving for the first time.
yeah,
And there was a lot of things that went into that, right? So like people were sick of the Gillette cartridges. I'll be honest, Dollar Shave Club and that commercial that they put out that was
yeah,
like viral.
yeah.
I mean, that literally woke up the entire country that you didn't have to buy Gillette.
Right. I'm a
And
victim of that actually
yeah,
as
and
well.
so but the thing is like it made people realize that there were alternatives to Gillette.
Yes.
And then as a couple other companies came out, you got Harry's and all that stuff. Um, they were like, well, what other stuff is out there? And
Yeah.
then they would run into somebody who had been posting content about traditional shaving. And that period of time from you know post Mantic era when people were getting into it, a lot of people found wet shaving like with Mantic,
Yeah.
Sharpologist now.
Sure.
Um, but so people were finding it, and then all the content that was being produced in that time was beginner friendly.
Yeah.
Like it was the most basic things, like reviews of the Merkur 34C and the
Sure.
PE89, and you know what I mean. And this is how you lather, and it wasn't complex. It was very basic, and all the content that was being created by the community of wet shavers was incredibly welcoming, is the
Yeah.
best way to describe
Sure.
it. There wasn't 1,000 options of soap. There wasn't 100 options of double-edged safety razors. There was three.
Yeah. Yeah.
um, and so what happened was that content creation in that period of time was what created the big boom
Okay.
of the 2015 to 19 era.
Sure.
And after, I think that it's not that wet shaving found everybody in the country and they knew what it was. It's that anybody who was inquisitive enough to find wet shaving themselves
Yeah.
already knew about wet shaving by about 2015 or 2016.
Interesting.
And then what happened about 2018 is a lot of people kind of got bored of it.
Yeah.
And so we talk about burnout and stuff and
Yeah.
is the thrill gone, et cetera, et cetera. I think that was happening in 2019.
Interesting.
And we saw it happen, just purely from the numbers,
Yeah.
but also like the artisans. Again, that's where we saw that huge drop off where there's no new artisan companies. You know what I mean? Like all this different stuff was happening. And then what happened was COVID hit, right?
Yes,
And COVID, it created an environment where a bunch more people were bored on the internet and found stuff that they had no idea existed.
that's right.
So it was, and I'm sure that some of the content by 2020 was probably pretty off-putting to somebody who's just finding wet shaving, because it was like, you know, let's talk about this ridiculous base that has donkey milk and
Yeah,
or
yeah,
something
yeah.
else in it, and people are like, what? But at the same time, there was people that were finding some of the content that had been created earlier, or was beginner friendly, and so that sparked another kind of mini boom. Nothing like from that 2014, 15, 16 range.
Yeah.
Um, and so yeah, so I think that's kind of what happened in 2020, and now those people are becoming slightly burnt out on it.
Interesting. So yeah,
And
it
so
goes in cycles, you know.
yeah, it goes in cycles.
Yeah.
So it's funny, like straight razors are like a completely different animal from traditional shaving and double-edged razors.
Yes.
Straight razors, the boom was actually 2007, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Interesting.
And then it completely trailed off to like not nothing, but there was nothing like that initial that time. And I'll be honest, one of the biggest things that drove the boom in straight razors was the James Bond
Right.
movie where was it Halle Berry
Yeah, well,
shaved him
that's right. Yeah, yeah.
with the straight razor.
Right.
So in that year,
Interesting.
Dovo, which was one of the only major manufacturers in the world, right?
Yeah.
Still is, it's like one of six that I would actually say is an acceptable brand to purchase.
Yeah.
Um, they had from what I understand, they had 2.5 years worth of orders placed in that year from
Wow.
retailers.
Okay.
Like, so it was a 250% of their normal order rates happened on the year that James Bond got shaved by Halle
Amazing.
Berry.
Amazing what a
So
movie can do. Yeah.
yes. So and then that kind of sparked retailers who were selling them, and then you know, and then that kind of faded away.
Interesting.
I mean, it takes a certain kind of person to use a straight razor.
It sure does. And
You have to be
it's not
dedicated.
obvious. You do have to be
And
dedicated.
and
There's a
I
huge
would
learning
say
curve.
that I would say that for every 10 straight razors that we sell to somebody who's never owned one before, I mean, five of them probably will never continue on with it.
Right.
Um, if not more than that.
Yeah,
It's entirely possible, they could be more than that.
for
It's
sure.
just it's a certain kind of person. So
Absolutely. Do you currently sell a lot of straight razors?
not as many as we used to.
Right. Fair.
But you know what? There's there's still, at least I have a very good market for like used vintage ones. Like they always sell
Yeah,
because I can sell them for relatively cheap and still do okay on them or whatever. And it's just they're not worse than a new one. But my problem is I don't have the time to pump them out. But
of
like
course.
if I do like have a couple days where I'm not things are kind of quiet and I pump out 10 or something, I list them on our line, they'll be gone like by the end of the
No
week.
kidding. Okay.
Yeah, but in terms of new straight razors, like we might sell one or two a day.
Wow.
Um,
That's
which,
interesting. Yeah.
you know,
That's not nothing.
it's not nothing. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Well, probably more average, more like one, I would guess. I always
Still.
think of like, weekends and stuff. They come
Right, of
back on a
course.
Monday and you
Or
ship two or
spikes.
something.
But still, one
Or
a
little
day on
spikes. Yeah.
average. That's not terrible.
Yeah. So there's still
Okay.
people that are finding them. There's still people that want them. But it's just been it's definitely come, like even the prices of vintage ones have come down.
Have
I
they?
mean, there was
Okay.
there was once a time where, people were spending $1,000 for a Wade and Butcher 8/8.
I still
And
see similar shenanigans, but I
yeah,
hang out on Discord with a bunch of maniacs that
yeah,
are into
a
it.
lot of it's the ask price. It's not what actually something sells for.
Of
But
course.
I don't know. It's just, I think what happened, the other thing that happened was because of the fact that straight razors became kind of bigger there. everybody and their brother went out and tried to find them.
Sure.
And so whatever inventory was out there, I mean, put it this way, in the late 90s, you could go to an antique shop and buy beautiful straight razors for $5,
For nothing, right.
like nothing.
Yeah,
And what happened, after 2015 or by 2015, I would say, is that the antique shops had nothing but absolute garbage left.
sure. Well, because all the good ones were gone and
All the
people
good ones
knew.
were gone.
Yeah,
And then, as people realized, oh, straight razors are worth money, they scavenged the uncle's drawers and, the
of
grandpa's
course.
drawers, and they got them out there, and they are now in the market, and it flooded the market with supply.
Interesting.
And so, for vintage, the prices basically, I would say on average, probably reduced by 40% between
Wow, that much.
2012 and
I don't know that Griffith
2016.
shaving got the memo for that one.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, you know what? I have no issues with somebody trying to charge as
No.
much as they can get for something. That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's my capitalism
absolutely.
mantra, you
For
know?
sure, for sure. How did
Yep.
you uh how did you come to purchase a historic building in downtown Adrian? Is it the Clark Memorial Hall? Is that it?
Yes, it is.
It
Yeah.
is. Okay.
It's a big, beautiful building.
It sure is. Having been there myself, I can attest.
Sure. It's so right across the street was my first little store. And
Oh, it was
so
right across the street. Wow.
literally right across the street.
Okay.
Actually, it's being torn down right now. There
Oh
was a
no.
fire in the building. So
Okay.
goodbye, old original store. But anyway,
Yes.
um, the owner of this building he ran a salon in here.
Like
And
a
one day,
like a hairdressing salon or something?
oh yeah, definitely like
Yeah.
a hairdressing salon, yeah.
Okay.
And one day I think he was kind of in financial trouble.
Yep. Happens.
One day he popped over to our store and he said, "Hey, we're thinking about, reducing the size of our salon, and we were wondering if you'd be interested in renting, about 1,200 square feet of the building."
Sure.
And I said, so at the time I think we were 6 or 7 employees deep running in 900 square feet.
Yeah.
And I said, no, but I'll buy your whole building.
Yeah.
And 3 months later, we
Bought
closed.
the building.
So it was a little bit of a shock that we bought it when we did. I wasn't really ready. I was half joking when
Yeah.
I told him that. And he said, "Let me get back to you." You know what I mean? I'm
Sure.
like, "Oh, okay." Um, I wasn't really ready to do it, but I tell you what, I'm glad I did. Because we ended up getting a really cool space for not a lot of money.
Right.
Unfortunately, I've now put 5 times what I paid for it into it.
That's what happens. Yeah.
But you know what? It's one of those things where we were able to get uh we've been in this building for 10 and a half years. We've been able to get 10 great business functioning years out of this building.
That's fantastic.
With we're not writing a rent check for $5,000 a month.
That's it.
you know
Specifically, yeah.
we actually paid off the building in 3 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And after we paid it off, we renovated the upstairs and we live in
Sure.
it now. So all these little benefits start
Oh,
to
do you live upstairs?
absolutely. And
Okay,
so
great.
they all start to tack on, and all of a sudden you're like, this is awesome.
Yeah.
And then we started working on the exterior, and this was more or less just a pet project of mine. Could I have done it for, you know, half of what I ended up spending? Probably.
Maybe.
But I have saved a beautiful building in downtown Adrian
You
for
sure have.
many generations to come.
Yep.
And so it was my way of kind of giving back to my hometown, which had made it all possible. I mean, let's face it, there's no better place to run an e-commerce company than in the middle of the country where all your packages go both directions.
It's
and
true.
and
Logistically speaking,
and
that
and
makes a
then
lot of
being
sense.
in the Rust Belt here, we were able to purchase this building for, get this, $187,000.
Are you kidding? Wow.
Of course,
Wow.
now I've put 800 into it. So, you
That's
know what I
that's how it
mean?
goes,
But
but
you know what? I am happy.
yeah.
And if you pluck this building and stuck it in a downtown on a on a cute little New England, city somewhere, it'd probably be worth 4 times as much.
Of course. But
So,
Adrian's a very cute, it's a quaint little town
sure.
for sure.
Yep. Yeah.
What's the best part of living in Adrian, Michigan? It's the Maple City, right? It's-
Yeah, that's actually a lot of people say, well, I thought you were in Canada because they see
right.
our
Well, it's the
logo.
maple leaf on your
And
branding. Yeah.
yeah, so that's actually the reason for the Maple Leaf is that we are part of the Maple City here, which
Okay.
is like, the high school team is the Adrian Maples and
Oh,
all these
okay.
different things. Um, but the reason that I have the Maple Leaf as the logo is originally, way, way back when, I was planning on making custom straight razors.
Ah,
And if you're into straight razors, you know that a lot of maker marks would have been small, small, like, the little fox or the duck, you know what I mean?
sure.
Or like all these little cool little things, or, the pipe, or all
Yeah,
these different things. And I was like, well, I'm going to make my little maker's mark be a little maple leaf because
for
I'm from
sure.
the Maple City. And
Makes
so
sense.
that was the origin of the logo in our business. So it has nothing to do with shaving.
Right, but that's okay.
So, but it was supposed to be on a razor. So that's the reason, you know what I mean?
Maybe
Um,
maybe that's why us Canadians feel such a draw to your products because of
who
the
knows,
branding,
maybe.
know?
Yeah. But yeah, so what's the best part of living there? I mean, I would say my favorite part of living out here is living in our downtown
Yeah,
because again, it has its downsides, there's vacant buildings and da 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 da. But there's like always this little spark that's happening somewhere in downtown where somebody's renovating something or they're opening a new business,
sure.
or you know what I
Sure.
mean? And it's kind of cool to be right there, and be able to pop in and say hello to them when they open their business, or
Absolutely.
see what they're doing to their building because
That's
I'm
great.
interested
And,
I'm interested to see.
an active member of the community,
Yeah.
certainly of the business
Yeah, and
community.
I've sat on the, like the downtown development authority here, and
Okay.
I've tried to be somewhat, active in local things. And usually, like, if you own a business, anybody out there listening, you've probably been asked by 17,000 people for money for something.
Right.
So, like, because of that insane demand for people like asking for donations, like, I try to just, whenever I do something, I usually do it something local to
Yeah.
my community. You know what I mean? And so it
Oh,
kind of,
yeah.
well, it helps you kind of say no to, well, I try to keep my donations local to my community.
That makes sense. And that's fair. You might as
Yeah.
well try to
So,
build up where it is you are, for sure.
yeah.
In all of your inventory, is there a best-selling item that stands out? And why is it tobacco?
Oh boy, tobacco. I can't do it. I can't do
No. Oh,
tobacco.
really?
No.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It's an
I mean,
acquired
no, it's
taste.
fine product, but I just can't. It's too.
It's not for everybody. It's old
It's
lady
too.
purse. I've
Yeah,
heard all kinds
that's
of
exactly what
descriptions.
I was
Yeah.
just about to say. So,
Right.
but the best selling things in the store are always the boringest.
Really? Yeah.
Like I sell more 22 millimeter plain black handled synthetic brushes that are made in China than I do any other product in the store.
Wow. Okay.
So
Interesting.
it's, and then,
Are
and then
those,
our Maggard branded razors. I mean,
yeah,
we sell like several thousand a year.
that seems to be a very, very popular
Yeah.
entry razor for lots of
Yeah.
people.
So, and like Astra Platinum blades. It's like, that's it. It's always going to be the most boring. Those are going to be the best sellers.
For sure.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Any failed business ventures that you care to share with the listeners?
Um, well, I've been scammed a few times, right? That's the never fun
For sure.
by people that I had dealt with in the past that ghosted us after getting a big chunk of money.
Really
Um,
shitty.
what else? I mean, I've always been I've always done something, like this
Yeah,
whole thing started as a side hustle.
sure.
I'm always doing something, man.
Okay.
But I always do it at a scale where failure isn't an option.
Right. That's a
If
great
if it's
attitude.
small enough, you can't fail, right?
That makes sense. Absolutely. And a great attitude.
Um, but I mean, I've gone through some spurts where I tried to be a landlord for a couple of years, like stuff like that. I kind of figured out what I guess that didn't turn out the best, but I didn't lose anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I, right now I'm actually running an Airbnb in my building.
Oh,
So
really?
like,
Okay.
yeah. So like, I'm always side hustling my side hustle,
Sure. That's great.
and I'm not scared of work. I'm
Gotta
not
keep
scared of work.
pushing. Right.
Um, I'm okay with cleaning some toilets a few times a month.
For sure.
So,
But does that mean that I could potentially stay at Maggard Razors during the meetup?
uh,
An Airbnb
you
rental?
could, but
Okay.
I might inflate the prices tremendously given the
That's,
demand.
that's
No,
fair. Yeah, yeah. Listen, that's supply and
no,
demand, right? That's how it
capitalist, right?
goes.
Capitalist.
Yeah, yeah. You keep
No,
saying yes.
no. Actually, I think this last year I think I blocked it off just because I didn't want to mess with it because we're so
Right.
busy.
For sure.
But no, I mean I'm gonna leave it open. You never know.
Okay. We'll talk. Is
Yeah.
there, you're planning another meetup for this year, I guess, or for
Yes, I am
2026?
going to do one this
Excellent.
coming year.
And
So
is it
it will
springtime
be
as it's
it'll
moved to?
be yeah, it should be late April.
Okay.
I think
Great.
if I'm not mistaken, what do we got? Is it the 18th or the 25th? Does
The
that
one
sound
the only one I attended in 2024 was actually on 420, which
I
was
remember that. Yeah.
convenient because of all the dispensaries in the parking lot
Oh
of the
goodness. Yes.
Marriott Hotel or wherever it is that
Yeah. I'll have to be looking. I'll be looking at the 18th and the 25th before I set a date. Of April of
yeah,
26.
okay.
I got to make sure that things line up with local events so that the hotels are available.
Sure, of course.
Sometimes that can throw a monkey wrench into things.
Absolutely.
Also got to figure out what's Mother's Day.
Right. Always a good idea to not
Yeah.
overlap that.
Yeah. And Easter. No.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll figure it out.
Okay. Do you ever attend shaving related trade shows or things like that?
We've been to several meetups throughout the country. One on the West Coast, San Diego, I think, one time. We've been to the East Coast, with the one that was held at Foxwoods a couple of years
Okay.
in a row. That was fun. And then I've been to just some smaller events that other people have put together.
Sure. Do you go
I
as a
don't
vendor
really.
or like an enthusiast?
We basically just went as participants for the
Yeah,
most part. Like I brought some door prizes and stuff, but not like I've never gone to a meetup and sold anything. You know what I
right.
mean?
Sure.
I actually did go to in 2024. We went to Cosmoprof in Vegas, which is like the cosmetics. It's like the worldwide like thing for cosmetics. But I was surprised that there's a fair number of companies that had booths there
Yeah,
that had some shaving related wares, that are kind of not really part of the what we think of as the wet shaving community and the common
sure.
products that we talk about. So
Yeah,
it's interesting just to realize that there's like whole markets out there that we are oblivious to.
sure. Well, that's
Um,
that's hopeful too.
but it was kind of cool. Like Taylor Voldman was there. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
and like I got to meet like one of the descendants that's currently partial owner or something. You know what I
sure.
mean? That's cool.
Of course.
Um, the most fascinating thing for me though at that place was the packaging section of it. Like they have like all the product section, then
Yeah,
they have the packaging section,
right.
and like that blows your mind. Like
Sure.
they have
Innovations in
like a
packaging.
100,000 square feet of these companies that make packaging products where you can automate the filling of little aftershave balm bottles or something.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, and
Yeah,
I'm like,
absolutely.
man, if any of our artisans could get to the point where they could have a facility where they could have this stuff, like you guys could be just making so much
Of
because it's
course.
so cool. It was
Yeah,
the coolest thing, man. So that
that's
was
neat.
really fun to see
That's
all that
neat.
stuff.
Is
But
that how you discover new products? Or how do you discover new products?
generally, no. I mean, we source from obviously like we listen to our customers for the most part
Sure.
when it comes to like shaving soaps and stuff. But like in terms of like supplies and what jars are we going to use and what bottles are we going to use, and like all
Yeah.
these different things that you have to do as a business owner. Otherwise, you don't have a product to sell. Like
Right.
it's just a lot of like ordering samples and figuring out what's going to work. And
Yeah.
it can be very frustrating,
Trial and error.
especially when like suppliers change something or um, we've had whole batches of jars that come in that leak and
Oh,
stuff like
really?
that. But just it's just a nightmare. But
Yeah. That's not fun. Any
yeah,
plans to expand up into Canada, given your Maple Leaf branding?
you know, as soon as we start to clear one minimum wage employee for in-store sales, it might make sense to get another location. But I just can't imagine.
Okay.
I
Well,
can't imagine the logistics of it working.
if ever, I'm your guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it would be cool to have like a warehouse that was shipping from Canada just because it's just so prohibitively expensive to ship there from the United States.
Sure.
Um,
Especially
but
now, I imagine. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
Yep.
Fair enough. Any plans for Maggards for the future?
Um, I mean, we're gonna keep going for now.
Okay.
Like I said, I
Good
mean,
plan.
I'm finally kind of done working on the building, thank goodness. So
Is it
not too
done
sure.
done?
I'm not
Yeah.
too sure if that means expanding our inventory or working into other markets, or if it means padding the retirement account. I don't know.
Maybe a bit of all of the
Maybe
above.
a bit of all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that
But
makes sense.
plan to stick around for at least the foreseeable future.
Fantastic.
So,
Great. Well,
yep.
I, for one, look forward to seeing you again in April at the
Yeah.
next meetup.
Awesome.
And I imagine
Yeah,
you'll
thanks for having me. It was a good time, and I don't know.
pleasure.
Hopefully somebody enjoyed listening to me
I think
yap.
so. I think so.
Cool.
I can't, I can't boast massive listenership, but
Eh,
I get
it's all right.
fantastic feedback and I get a
There
lot of,
you go.
scammy emails saying, your podcast is very successful. Let us help you with your SEO, etc.
Oh, sure, sure.
So must be doing something right.
Yep, got it.
Yep, that's it. But honestly, it's been a pleasure, and I'm really glad we were able to make this work finally.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
So thank you, Brad, and
Mhm.
to all that are still listening, thanks for listening as always, and we'll see you on the flip side.
Yeah, see ya.